Boys, here we are doing another questions. The question is, what are the functions of a central bank? Discuss the functions of a central bank. I have written the points and I am explaining you. Please listen carefully. The first function of a central bank is note issue. All the currency notes are issued by the central bank on behalf of the government. And in any country, all the currencies, all the paper money, all the metallic coins are circulated by the central bank. It is the basic function of a central bank to issue currency notes. The first function of central bank is to issue and circulate all the currency notes in a country. So that's why we have written note issue. The second function of the central bank is, a central bank is a banker of banks. All the commercial banks have to keep an account with the central bank. I repeat, all the commercial banks have to maintain an account with the central bank, and in case of any financial difficulty, in case of any financial crisis, it is the central bank which helps the commercial banks. That's why the central bank is also known as lender to the last resort. This term is used for the central bank because at any time of financial stringency, the central bank helps the commercial banks. That's why it is a banker of banks. The third function of the central bank is, it is banker to the government. A central bank keeps the balances of the government. It acts as a banker. It makes and all the payments receives. The central bank makes and receives all the payments on behalf of the government. Number one. Number two, it keeps all the cash reserves of the government. And number three, in case of any financial crisis, the central bank advises the government. So, these three combined is known as the banker to the government. By banker to the government, we mean these three things. Number one is, the central bank keeps all the cash balances of the government. Number one. Number two, the central bank receives and makes all payments on behalf of the government. Number two. Number three is, in case of any financial crisis, the central bank advises the government. That's why it is a banker to the government. Number four, the most important function of central bank, it is credit control. This credit control we will do in details in the next class. Just for the time being, you know that the central bank can control the volume of credit provided by all the commercial banks. I repeat, a central bank can control the volume of credit. It implies volume of loans provided by the commercial banks. We know that we, the common people, cannot take any loan from the central bank. We have to go to any commercial bank. So, this is the lending power of the commercial banks. This lending power of the commercial bank is totally controlled by the central bank. This is known as credit control. Now, why this is necessary and what are the weapons that will be done in the next class when I will do this topic in details. But for time being, it is enough for you to know that the central bank can control the volume of credit provided by the commercial banks. There are two basic ways. Number one is general credit control. Number two is the selective credit control. What are they? There are two methods, general credit control and selective credit control. By these two methods, the central bank can control the credit in the economy provided by the commercial banks. The next one is foreign exchange control. All the foreign exchange are reserved with the central bank. All the foreign currencies are held by the central bank. So this is the fifth function of the central bank, that foreign exchange control. And the last one is supervision and development function. Supervision implies, you know, the central bank is the apex institution, apex bank as a guardian. It supervises the functioning of all the commercial banks. Any decision, important decision of the commercial banks must be granted by the central bank. For example, branch expansion, any change in the management, any change in the working method, all these things must be approved by the central bank. So that's why this is the supervision function. And what is development function? Development function implies a central bank has certain social responsibility also to extend the banking facilities to the remote areas of the country is the responsibility of the central bank, and that's why the central bank takes different types of steps. It may be through the commercial banks, but the main initiative is started by the central bank for the development of the banking structure in the economy. The central bank takes a various number of steps. Those things are known as the development functions. Okay. So these are the basic functions of a central bank of a country. Your question will come like this. Mention the functions of the central bank. In this way, we will write, and this credit control, as I told you, this credit control, a separate question will come, that what do you mean by credit control, what are the different types of credit control policies of the central bank. That I have not done today, that I will do in the next class, because credit control is the only function for which you got a separate question. For other things, only one. You will write in this way, point wise: note issue, banker of the banks, banker to the government, credit control, foreign exchange control, supervision and development functions. You will write in this way. For this, I will do another class, then there I will explain this one. Got it? Okay. Thank you.